Welcome back to the channel. We're continuing right where we finished in the last episode at the end of St Barbara Bastion. This part of Valletta feels quiet compared to the center of the city. The streets are narrow, the buildings close together, and the harbor is never far away. From here, we'll keep walking along the eastern side, heading toward Lower Barrakka Gardens and the waterfront below. We'll follow the curve of the bastions. Along the way, you'll notice small details, wooden balconies, weathered stone, and the quiet rhythm of daily life. We're now walking along the Lvant Street. This street runs along the outer edge of Valletta, following the line of the old fortifications. On one side, you have the solid limestone walls and traditional buildings, and on the other side, the land drops toward the harbor. Many of these buildings were built centuries ago, yet they're still part of everyday life today. That's one of the things that makes Valletta unique. This is one of my favorite alleys right at the end of Lvant Street. See how calm and quiet it feels, tucked away from the busy city. The walls here tell stories in their worn stone and faded paint. It's a perfect little corner to pause and take in Valletta's charm. I was planning to reach Lower Barrakka Gardens, but unfortunately they're currently closed for renovation, so we won't be able to go inside today. Luckily, I have some old pictures I took that I can share with you. They'll give you a glimpse of the views and charm of the gardens until we can visit again. Lower Barrakka is known for its peaceful atmosphere and its view toward the Grand Harbor and the breakwater. It's a quieter alternative to Upper Baraka, often less crowded and more relaxed. This is a picture of Lower Barrakka Gardens taken over 100 years ago. See how different it looks compared to today. The layout has changed, but the charm of the views is timeless and some features remain familiar. Once the garden is open again, we'll come back to explore it properly. For now, we'll continue along the street, taking in the sights around us. We're heading back along Lvant Street toward the Victoria Gate. As we continue along the street, take a moment to look at the buildings around us. Some of these houses belong to merchants, others to officers, and others to ordinary families. Even today, many of them are still lived in. The city changes slowly, but it never loses its character. Notice the mix of old and restored facades, each with its own character. The street may be quiet, but it's full of architectural details worth spotting. The wooden balconies, the stone door frames, and the iron railings, each one slightly different. Every detail adds its own character to the street. Together, they tell the story of Valletta's rich cultural mix. You can see Arabic influence in the enclosed balconies, Italian influence in the architecture, and British influence in small elements added later. Ahead of us is Victoria Gate. What you're seeing now is actually the back of it. Most visitors recognize the grand front facing the harbor, but this quieter side is just as much a part of its story. This gate was built during the British period in the 19th century, replacing an older entrance to the city. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to follow along with our journey through Malta. Unlike the main city gate, which faces Floriana, Victoria Gate connects Valletta directly to the harbor level. We're walking toward the front face of Victoria Gate. Valletta was never isolated. It was always connected to the sea, and the sea brought people, ideas, and styles from all over the Mediterranean. They're reflected in the architecture, the culture, and even the atmosphere. It's what gives Valletta its unique and layered identity, and you can still see those influences in the city today. You're looking at the grand and glorious entrance. Its impressive design reflects the importance of Valletta's link to the harbor. It was built by the British in 1885 and named after Queen Victoria. At one time, there were several gates within Valletta's fortifications. Today, Victoria Gate is the only one that still survives. The others were demolished during the 19th and 20th centuries. For many years, this was an important entry point for goods arriving by sea. From here, supplies could be brought straight into the city without passing through the main fortifications. Today it's quieter, but you can still feel its purpose. Valletta was designed to control movement, who enters, who leaves, and how the city connects to the outside world. We're now walking toward the Valletta Waterfront area. The path begins to open up as we head closer to the harbor. You can already sense the shift from the quiet streets above. Down below, the waterfront has a completely different energy. You'll also notice the space opening up and the views becoming wider. It's a lively part of the city, full of history and activity. Before entering the waterfront, we pass the Child Migrants Memorial. This monument honors the children who left Malta long ago. Many traveled to countries like Australia, Canada, and the United Kingdom. It's a poignant reminder of their journeys and the lives they built abroad. Between 1950 and 1965, over 300 Maltese children were sent alone to Australia. They were placed in Catholic institutions under a child migration scheme. Instead of the promised education, many faced abuse and exploitation. These children are often remembered as the forgotten children of Malta's history. For many families, migration was not a choice but a necessity. Opportunities were limited on the islands and life could be hard. People looked abroad for work, for stability, and for a better future. This memorial reminds us of their courage and the sacrifices they made. When you stand here near the harbor, the meaning feels even stronger. This is where countless journeys began. Ships leaving these waters carried thousands of Maltese to new lives far away. The memorial may be simple, but the story it tells is deeply powerful. We're now in the Valletta Waterfront. The colorful facades you see here date back to the 18th century, when this area was used as warehouses for the Knights of St. John. Goods arriving by ship were stored here before being taken up into the city. Each colored door marked a different storage area, and the buildings were designed to handle trade from across the Mediterranean. Today, these warehouses have been beautifully restored and transformed into restaurants, cafes, and shops, yet the original structure has been carefully preserved. Later, more stores and warehouses were added in 1752. This expansion included 19 imposing stores and a church. They were built under Grandmaster Manuel Pinto de Fonseca. The buildings feature a Baroque design attributed to Andrea Belli. The area was heavily devastated by aerial bombardment during World War II. German Luftwaffe attacks targeted it because of its proximity to the Malta dockyard and British naval forces in the Grand Harbor. Several of the stores were completely destroyed during the war. The damage left a lasting mark on the waterfront for years afterward. The area was later carefully restored and renovated. Some buildings that had been destroyed during World War II had only their facades rebuilt, but their interiors were not reconstructed. The doors of the buildings are painted in different colors. Each color represents the type of goods once stored inside. Blue stands for fish, green for agricultural products, yellow for wheat, and red for wine. It's a simple system that reflects the area's rich trading history. The Valletta Waterfront is managed by a private consortium overseeing Malta's cruise liner operations. The area is home to around 12 restaurants along with bars and retail outlets. It also hosts a variety of events throughout the year. Its vibrant mix of dining, shopping, and entertainment makes it a lively part of the city. Walking along here, you can imagine what this place looked like centuries ago. Ships filled the harbor, workers unloaded cargo, and merchants negotiated prices. The purpose of the waterfront has changed over time, but the atmosphere in many ways remains the same. The restored warehouses give it a historic charm while housing modern amenities. With views of the sea and the city, it's one of Valletta's most popular spots. Today, the Valletta Waterfront is a lively promenade along the harbor. It's a place where both locals and visitors come to walk, eat, and relax. We continue along toward the marina area. The water there is calm, and the boats sit quietly along the quay, moving only with the tide. It's a peaceful contrast to the busy history of this harbor. This side of Valletta feels slower than the main entrance, less crowded, less noisy, but full of character. This is the way you would go when boarding a ship. Today, though, there are no ships waiting here. Maybe it's too early. The area feels quieter, almost paused in time. It's easy to imagine the bustle that usually fills this space. A cruise ship experience from Valletta would be something special. In fact, large cruise ships regularly dock here. Seeing them arrive in the Grand Harbor is impressive on its own. It really shows how important this port still is today. See how beautiful the view is here at the marina. The calm water reflects the sky and the surrounding boats. It's a perfect spot to pause and take in the scenery. Every corner feels peaceful and full of charm. We start heading back along the road beside the waterfront. From this angle, you can see the facades again, but also the massive walls of Valletta rising above them. It's a reminder of how the city was built. Walking here, you understand why Valletta feels so different from modern cities. It wasn't built to grow outward, it was built to stand strong. You can see the layers of history all around you. The fortifications rise above, standing strong through the centuries. Warehouses line the quay beside you, reminders of the city's trading past. And in front, the harbor stretches out, connecting Valletta to the wider world. This is a must for anyone walking along the waterfront. Every step offers history, scenery, and a lively atmosphere. From the restored warehouses to the calm marina, there's so much to see. It's a walk that captures the spirit of Valletta perfectly. This is where we'll end today's walk. Valletta may be small, but every street carries its own history. Thank you for walking with me. I'll see you in the next episode.